How's it going, everybody? So this is a bit of a different kind of video I'm making here today. I really don't say a lot of stuff like this or about this, but as far as today's topic, we getting ready to go in. Man, we getting ready to go in. You know, I wanted to actually speak on this a week ago, right? I wanted to speak on something like this long time ago, but now it's like I feel like I got the green light on what it is I'm getting ready to say. Because if somebody don't say this, then I don't know what we gonna be here in Toledo. I'm really fighting the wind right now, so y'all bear with me, but I almost think it's gonna rain. So it's like now or never for the video. I'd rather have a little wind noise than a bunch of wet equipment or a day short. So here we go. And this ain't gonna be my first time saying this either. But why we never do better in Toledo. Man, the slogan is, you will do better in Toledo. But that's really dependent on what is, right? Because some people come to Toledo and they really do better, for real. Some people from other cities and states and stuff like that, you know, they come to Toledo and they do better, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why they do better in Toledo. They do better in Toledo because the cost of living in Toledo is fairly low in comparison to the cost of living other places. So what might be a month's pay somewhere else is like 3 months' pay here. And so they come here with their savings and end up doing a lot more with it, you know? And that ain't the only reason. One of the biggest reasons is because they don't know a lot of people. And they ain't really mixed into a lot of stuff. You know, they don't have the Toledo mindset. And I'm not saying that to speak bad about Toledo, because like what I mean by that Toledo mindset is so far separate than the mindset that anybody can have, right? Because like you can have the Toledo mindset anywhere, and it's not just the Toledo's mindset. Like it could be at any other place in the world, but it's a certain kind of thing I'm talking about, and I just ain't gave it a real name yet, so maybe that's all I can really call it. So please don't take offense to that, because I'm not saying that as in saying something bad about Toledo, as if Toledo is the only place in the world like this, because it's not. In fact, a whole lot of other places are a whole lot worse. It's just that we ain't really accountable for what every other place become, because we ain't the ones that live there. Like, we ain't the ones that give every other place a bad name except our own place, you know? But I know a lot of people talk about gun violence and stuff like that, but gun violence is probably one of them things that's gonna be here to stay. I'm not lying to you. And if it wasn't guns, it'd be knife violence. If it wasn't knives, it'd be baseball bats. Like, you can literally make a weapon and create violence with anything. Acorns, apples, like it really don't matter, you know? But Toledo make the worst decisions and wonder why people say you won't do better in Toledo. And trust me, you can. You can be very well off here in Toledo, but you gotta leave a certain mindset alone, a certain group and types of people alone. And that go for anywhere. You can develop the same kind of mindset and you can develop the same circle anywhere else. But I lived the best of both worlds, right? I lived in the hood, but the hood didn't necessarily live in me. Not like that. You know, I lived in impoverished communities, except I always had a different worldview, right? I always wanted to do something else with my life other than be the plug. Always wanted to do something else with my life, like other than be popular or something crazy like that, you know? And it's a lot of people here like that. And anybody can become that way. And I'm not trying to say be like me, because I'm not the person to be like. In a whole lot of ways, I don't like, you know, like I need to make a lot of changes. So I'm not the standard. It's just that don't mean that I can't see what the problem is here. Toledo kills people. And I don't mean the city itself, but a lot of people here in Toledo, y'all like to take people out who are in positions to make a difference. Now, I first wanted to say that Toledo like to take people out who are capable of making a difference. But everybody here is capable of making a difference. And all you got to do, literally, like this one thing right here, is capable of making a 100% difference. Not that it'll be 100% great, but it'll make a literally like twice the difference here. All you got to do is stop taking people out. Literally. But now I know in a lot of ways self-defense matter, but all of that gun violence, gang violence, street violence, you know, all of that person-to-person malicious intent, stuff like that, that stuff just gotta go. You can stay a nobody, right? You can stay a lowlife. You can even stay a hater. But you can really make a big difference by just stop taking people out. That all by itself can make literally a 100% difference. Even if you stayed the same. Double think before you take another person's life, especially over something that you wouldn't even trade for your life. You know what I'm saying? Some people wouldn't even trade stuff for their own life that they take other people's lives over. And it's kind of sad, because if they was your people, like, you would be somewhere wanting justice. If they was your people, you'll be somewhere wanting somebody to get to the bottom of it. But if it's somebody else, it don't really matter that much. Well, to y'all, at least. Unless I got a certain group of people here who see things the way I do, right? And I'm sure I do. But it's a whole lot of people who look at other people's lives as less than nothing. Less than nothing. And it's sad. Our mayor is one person. Just fixing roads all by itself is enough work to do for the remainder of his term in office. And that's just fixing roads. Just the freaking potholes is enough work to do all by itself for the remainder of his term in office. Think about that. So voting another mayor ain't gonna make a difference. I mean, we would like to think it does, and I'm sure to a whole lot of an extent, it does make a difference. But I'm thinking about another kind of difference here. I would rather keep the potholes if that meant keeping our people alive. But it's not like somebody's in the office is deciding the safety of our community or the potholes. Like, no, it's not like that. Because the safety of our community first start with the people in it, not with the people in office who probably never really lived in the worst parts of our community before. Like, you know what I'm saying? The police force is not responsible for making a difference here. They'll continue to get paid as long as they can arrest somebody who wants to make this place a bad place to live. It'll probably be in their best interest to not get their hands into what will take a job away from them. Now, I'm not saying that the police force is busy making the place a bad place specifically because of job security, but it probably ain't in their best interest to actively pursue what will actually make a difference here. I'm not saying that there's not some who aren't working to make a difference. But all I'm saying is that the overall goal of the police force is arresting you when you commit a crime, not keeping you from doing one. Making a difference here start with every other person. And sorry, I'm reading from my phone, so if I'm looking down, just understand that's what's going on, because I got to stay on topic here. It start with every other person, especially us who grew up in impoverished communities. Nobody knows how to care about what they didn't grow up looking at every day. Just think about it. Like, I know people who lived on the east side, and when they got a little money, they did what they had to do to help make the east side a better place. So like, because they grew up looking at it, they know what it needs. They know what to think about. They know what people who live there care about. It starts with people who came from the streets, who ended up starting companies and first doing better for their own families. Because you can't pour from an empty jar. But you first got to do better for your own family. And then you can start making a big difference in the world for everybody else's. But if you're not in the position right now to do what you got to do for yourself, then you're not really going to be in the position to do what you got to do to save the world. Oh, and on top of that, you can't save the world. So good luck. And these same people are the ones who can sit you down, teach you some things, and give you something to do other than hanging out in the streets. Who can give you something to do other than shooting and robbing people who did find something else better to do. What's the sense in you wreaking havoc in other people's lives just for you to end up in jail? Like, I don't even get that. Like, why don't you just go on downtown and ask to get a cell? Right? Like, it's a Lifetime hotel if you think about it. But like, there ain't no sense in you actively destroying another person's life and you still not get anywhere yourself. But at the same time, a lot of people who made a lot of bad decisions, they can still turn themselves around. It's a lot of people who did it. I made a lot of bad decisions too, and I still turn things around. All thanks to God. Why not let other people win? Because that could be your win one day. That could be your teacher one day. That could be your business partner one day. That can even be your inspiration to do your own thing one day. They don't even have to know you. All you got to do is do as much as be inspired by them. Like, even if you chose to be something along the lines of a copycat, you know what I'm saying? You could still succeed by other people's successes. Even if you went as low as copying them. I would much rather somebody copy me than hate on me. I would much rather somebody copy me than take me out because they can't be me. Bad enough, I'm willing to teach people how to do exactly what I can do. Like, I teach photography sometime. I'm not a full-time or even a part-time photography teacher, but I still do. Like, I win or lose nothing helping somebody else out. And I don't have the mindset of competition because nobody can copy my head. All they could copy are my methods, but they can't copy the way I apply them. Like, you just got to be that individual. Like, you can copy what somebody else go into business doing. You just can't copy how they apply what they know how to do. I mean, you can even copy what they know how to do. You just can't copy how they apply it. I get it. Everybody can't be the boss, but everybody doesn't have to be a loser. And when you take another person's life, everybody is a loser. Their families lose, and so does yours. Some people, well, I ain't got no family anyway. Trust me, it's somebody out there that love you, and they are better off with you doing better for yourself than you being in jail. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man, like, some of the best things that happen to some people is going to jail. Like, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. Like, the best thing that happened to a lot of people who turned their life around is jail time. Like, I would be a fool to think that. I mean, like, not to see it that way. Some people never learn until they got to pay for it. But there are some things you do that you could spend the rest of your life paying for. All over something as small as hating on somebody. All over something as small as a few dollars that'll probably only last you a month or so. And because taking from somebody else, including their life in the process, was what you practiced on thinking like the last time you made a move, that's going to be the only thing you think about the next time you need to make a move. So practice on making a move and doing something better for yourself a little bit differently than doing what you know can't last forever. Like, you can't take from everybody else forever. Look, you can't get mad and hate on somebody else forever. Look, you can't take another person's life all the time forever. It just don't last. So why not think today about what you know is sustainable? Everybody talk about sustainable development, sustainable development, sustainable development, sustainable. I can't even say that. Tongue twister. You know, but hitting licks, robbing people, taking other people's stuff, including lives in the process, is not sustainable. That's not something you can do at 75. Crawling through windows is not something you can do at 75. A lot of people in the streets, they swear up and down that they don't gang bang. Oh, we don't bang no more. Oh, we don't bang no more. That's so 2003. I mean, but y'all still do the same stuff, though. So, like, it really don't matter if y'all don't bang no more. Y'all still do the same thing. I don't care what you call it. Still getting you to the same place. Nowhere. Like, that's like me taking this. Say, oh yeah, we don't call it brushes no more. We call it a bristled hair comb. Like, still using it the same way. Like, I mean, just cause like everybody ain't so big on repping hoods and streets and blocks and all that other kind of stuff does not mean that things are changing. It's like, it's just not. People still lose their life every day in the streets. People lose their life every day out of the streets. Like, it be people who came from that world just to have to go out as though they stayed in that world. All because of somebody else. All because somebody couldn't be a man or a woman or just something like that, because women do this too. All because of somebody else. Mad. Can't fight. And I ain't saying that people need to just fight. Everybody can't write the checks. But everybody doesn't have to get nothing. And y'all are the same people who think voting for a president will make a difference. It's not. Sorry. You have to do that. Like your president's taking your weapons. It's not going to stop people from killing people. A lot more people died when all we had were swords. I mean, there was war all the time. Swords. Voting, it's not going to change the world. You have to change your world. And collectively, as everybody's worlds change individually, then you can see a difference in your community. Unfortunately, there's always going to be somebody who ruins it for everybody. So just like I said earlier, trying to save the world, not going to happen. Good luck. Good luck. But every one person's life matters. It matters to God. It matters to their family members. And it should even matter to themselves. This starts with regular guys who lived that street life before, who end up starting flooring companies, who became landlords and roofing company owners instead. But instead, you would rather take them out to hit a stupid lick. All over a chain. All over $1,000. All over a pack. All over some respect. Some crazy like that. And some of the respect y'all want is stuff that don't matter. You gonna respect my name in the streets. What street? Look, you talking about the one full of potholes? Oh, you talking about the streets that's named after somebody you don't even know? If the people that named these streets were still alive, they probably wouldn't like you anyway. So what's the use? You know? No, it's just the principle. What principle? We ain't in school. So many people lose their lives over the principle. It was just the principle. It's just the principle. Man, stop letting this world hold you to principles and just do right. Man, because some of these principles we like to hold ourselves to are based on nothing. Just nothing. Are based on things that don't matter anyway. I'm not saying that it's pointless to be a man or woman of principles, but I mean, to what extent does the principle really matter? Just imagine taking somebody's life for a few dollars that only last a month, and it could have been the same amount of money you could have made with them every month for years. I know so many people who just need somebody to do the work. There's people I know right now who I've done work for years. I could have stole from them. Coulda. I could have took the money they left there to pay me and not finished the work. Coulda. I could have took the keys to their car and drove off, left town. Could have done that. But why? Not only do I not believe in stealing and taking somebody else's stuff. I don't believe in that, because I too have things that I would hate for somebody else to take. But when people are in positions to spend money with you or teach you how to make it, or even as much as just be an inspiration to you, that few dollars, that stupid principle, or whatever y'all might want to say, this is over or that is over, all of that is nothing in comparison to what you can actually do with them long term. Long term. I know people right now who, a lot of y'all, would do anything to me. I don't talk about it. I don't sit up and talk about, oh, guess who I'm with, this or that. Like, I mean, like, none of that even matter to me. Because I'm not a clout chaser. I'm not. If I were only as much as a clout chaser, I could probably do so much better for myself right now. If I were only as much as a clout chaser, I could probably be a lot more popular right now. If I were only as much as a clout chaser, I could probably have so much more respect right now. I don't care. I don't care about the stuff people care about that drive people to do what they do. I don't care about the stuff people care about that drive them to take somebody else's life. I don't care about the stuff people care about that drive them to take from somebody else. I don't care about the stuff people care about that drive them to hate on somebody else. Some stuff might be good for me, but it ain't that important. Not that important. You know, it's just not. I want what's mine, not what's theirs. I want what's mine. That's it. That's the only thing that lasts, is what's yours. But, you know, like, there's been a new, man, I could even do as much as call this a new hobby now. Man, because y'all take it to the extent of being a hobby. But people have been really big on scamming these days. And don't you know that if you build your house with another man's money, you dig your own grave? For every one thing you do to get over on another person, it's like the same as etching your own gravestone. For every one thing you do to get over on another person, it's like the same as building the bars to your own jail cell. And not to mention, because those are the habits you've practiced on how to get from A to B, that tend to be the only other option you come up with the next time you need to get from A to B. Right? Like, let me give you an example of how this worked in my world. So when I first started carpet cleaning, every time I would run across a slow season, the very first thing I would do is start selling off unused equipment. Some had to say, wait a minute. Like, this is tending to be a thing you repeat every time. You're going to be down to the bare bones one day. It's like, no, you can't do that. Practice the habit of learning how to at least get through a slow season without doing all that. Because here come next month when it ain't so slow, like, you're going to wish you didn't have to buy all that stuff over again. And I had to just suffer through. And I still have slow seasons. And there are some things I really don't need. It's just that I practiced not selling things off for so long that I don't even know how to sell off the stuff I do. I should sell off. It's like, nah, we got to make some money with this one day. And that just become the habit you practice. Every time you short, that don't mean go take from somebody else. Because that's what you going to feel like you need to repeat every time you short. Every time you get mad, hot-tempered, and angry, that don't mean take somebody else out. Because that's going to be the thing you practice every time you get mad, hot-tempered, and angry. I know so many people who just need somebody to do the work, but y'all would rather do a robbery. It's a reason y'all would rather do a robbery than do the work. And most of y'all can't even put up with working. I hate to put it this way, but most people my color cannot put up with working. And they can't even use their own heads long enough to put up with figuring something out. It's like people my color are under a curse. Like, I hate to even say it that way. Like, it's a lot of people my color who I would never hire for a job. I'm not lying to you. It's a lot of my own people I would never hire for a job. Never. I'm not even lying to you, man. Like, I hate to even say it that way, because a lot of y'all cannot put up with being told what to do. A lot of y'all can't put up with being responsible. Like, a lot of y'all can't put up with just staying down until you come up. Why? Like, what make y'all so entitled to where it's like one day you come out the womb and the next day you need to be the plug. And if you can't be the plug, then you need to go take it from somebody else. And the reason y'all hate on so many people, oh, and this go for people of every color now. The reason y'all hate on so many people is because they better than you. Yeah, I said it. They're better than you. And y'all need to have respect for people that y'all know is just better than you. Like, if only some people were willing to admit when somebody is better than them, man, you can do a lot with yourself. You can do a lot with them. Just have the balls to admit they better than me. So instead of taking out the only person that I can see right now that's capable of showing me how to do better than what I'm doing now, I should just ask them for help. Ask them if they need a worker or just something. Ask them if they need a partner. Somebody to just come take their garbage out once a week or something crazy like that. I know so many people right now that's better than me. I ain't mad at that. Man, do your thing. I might got more skills than them, but they better than me. I won't, like, I might want more for myself than them. I mean, I might want more for myself than they want for themselves, but they better than me. Like, you just need to know when somebody else is better than you. So, get to know them. For real. Just get to know them. Now I see why so many people get a little money and disappear. I see why. I see why people make something happen for themselves here and then go somewhere else. Because if they don't take their money and their talents and disappear, they'll probably disappear in the worst way. And y'all are the same people who get mad when somebody come up out of Toledo and leave to Atlanta. Why not? Why? But people leave Atlanta and come here, all for the same reason. So this ain't just a Toledo problem. It's everywhere. Is it not better to stay alive for the few people you got than to die trying to please the 1,000 people that want your spot? I mean, the famous slogan is, get rich or die trying. Not to get rich and die trying to please people. No, you get rich or die trying to get rich, not get rich and then die trying to please people. But like a lot of y'all would be the same ones to say, well, y'all get yourself a little bit of money and y'all forget all about the hood. Sound just like a jigaboo slave. You get a little money and forget where you came from. Nah, the real reason you mad at them is because they remembered where they come from. A place where people do nothing but hate. Nothing but take somebody else's life to take their stuff. Yeah, they remembered where they come from, all right. A place where nobody make it out after making something happen for themselves. Yeah, that's exactly why they disappeared. They remember where they come from. No, you wrong about that. They remember clearly where they come from. That's why they do it. Remembering where they come from. Everybody too lazy to think mentally and create a plan for themselves. And one of the problems is y'all smoke too much weed. That's why y'all can't think. Y'all smoke too much weed. That's why your head don't work unless it's working to take somebody else's stuff. I mean, your brain is not fully capable of even thinking that deep. Y'all be the main ones to, the streets. Oh yeah, man, this get deep. Oh yeah, the streets, yeah, it get deep. No, it don't. It's deep to you. Look, that's because your head's shallow. That's why it get deep, because you shallow. So anything slightly deeper than the depth you can think, oh, I guess that's deep. Ain't nothing deep about the streets, man. I don't care how many people tied to it. Nothing deep about it at all. Like, not really. Oh, this get deep. No, it don't. You just got a pea brain. That's why it's deep to you. You got a pea brain. But now how is everything revolved around robbing, stealing, and killing is deep to you? This ain't deep, you just stupid. That's all. And you know what? A lot of y'all still are a slave. Still. You still a slave. And y'all be the first to go outside marching and breaking windows when a white cop kill a black man. Oh, and you killed the black man too. Like, y'all be the first to do all that, out protesting. Y'all stupid. No, it's gonna take somebody your color to tell you that you stupid. I can't be white and say this. I can't be Mexican and say this. I can't be Arabic or Chinese and say this. I gotta be black to say it. Y'all are stupid. But not all of y'all. But for the most part, man, this is real stupid. This is just stupid. And then you want to know what get even stupider? Is when one of your boys get caught doing something stupid. Oh, free my boy from C block, O block, J block. Just be like, what? You stupid. The same thing go on amongst other races of people. It's not just black people. I just didn't grow up in the same world as other races of people. So they could say the same thing about their own people. You know what I'm saying? And just because you shared this video, it don't mean you saying everything I'm saying. You know, I don't want to hold you in a position where you can't share the word that I'm sharing right now because you ain't my color. I'm personally saying that a lot of black people stupid. Now, you can personally say a lot of white people stupid. You could personally say a lot of Mexicans stupid. You could personally say a lot of Chinese and all these other people stupid. You can say that if you want to. And but y'all destroy your own communities and then expect not to end up like with the rest of your life behind bars or probably took out yourself. Some of y'all can't think no further than what the rap music said. Some of y'all's brains don't go any deeper than what you just heard on that track. Man, y'all blame presidents, cops, mayors, police officers. Well, that's a cop. Y'all blame everybody but the stuff y'all put in your own heads. But now y'all just seen everything that got exposed about Diddy. That's the whole music industry right there. Like, it ain't just the Diddy problem. It's the whole industry. He just the only one in trouble. Probably because he reached too far, not because of what he did. Now, they knew this about him all along. Why is he just now in trouble? Just thinking about that should have y'all second guessing everybody's music you listen to. Everybody's. Oh, but y'all let the music influence you. All the way to the extent of throwing your own life away and taking somebody else's. Some of y'all can't think no deeper than what you seen on a movie. Yeah, I want to be just like Nino Brown. What? Did you watch that whole movie? What are we going to do with these people? I want to give a special shout out to some of the people who passed away to acts of hating gun violence. Special shout out. And a lot of these people are people who were doing something with their life that could have got a lot of y'all out the streets. If only you just had learned from them. See, Toledo don't like people doing better. As long as you ain't doing better than me, right? Y'all crazy. And then you want to know another problem I see here is that as soon as somebody is doing better, like a lot of times, they stay involved with the wrong people. Don't make that mistake either. Don't stay involved with the wrong people, because the wrong people will have you tied up in some stuff that'll have you losing everything. I'm not telling you to forget where you came from, but forget living like where you came from. Why is it can't people just leave the pea-brain stuff alone? Why? What is it gonna take? It was the gospel that saved my life. It was the gospel that changed my world. And I am not interested in forcing my beliefs on anybody. But I would be a fool to say that there is something wrong with thou shalt not kill. I would be a fool to say that there is something wrong with thou shalt not covet thy neighbor. I would be a fool to say that there is something wrong with thou shalt not steal. This world is evil, y'all. It ain't just the industry. It ain't just the White House. It could be you too. Yeah. It could be you too. You just doing your part in it. Voting is not going to change the communities. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not a president's job for you to do what's right. Defunding the police is not going to do anything either. Funding the police won't either. Yeah, because there could be just as many crooked cops as there is crooked next door neighbors. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. You gotta change. You gotta make a difference. Like, you gotta teach your kids stuff. But that's pretty much it, y'all. You can do better in Toledo. You really can. You just gotta be better. You do. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. Nothing else to it. I thank y'all for taking the time to watch this. I thank y'all for taking the time to share. I'm giving you this for free. I ask you to do something for me that is free. Share this to your page. Like the video, leave a comment. If you see this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. If you see this on Facebook, subscribe to my page, The Priesthood Media, and or Corey Lee, follow my page. And just remember what I'm telling you. That's all. Peace.